One thing we should always remember whenever we want to represent this term, so there may be a confusion between what is how to represent mean terms and max term. So many times students make mistake here representation, right? So here if you see, it is a product term, mean term. Max term is the sum term, right? So in a product term, we write it as x bar, y bar, z bar. But in max term, we write it as x plus y plus z, right? So whenever we represent a mean term, so for that, if you are getting a zero, then it should be represented by in a complement form, right? So if you are having a 1 here, then it will be just x here, right? So you'll understand better here. So here if you see, and this mean term, so there is a binary number 0 1 1, right? So whenever you have a 0 here, if you want to represent these whole three numbers which are there in terms of a variable ABC, then we write it as a bar b c, right? So here 0 in mean terms, whenever you get a 0 here, that should be represented in terms of a complement form. So whenever you have a 1 1 here, you should represent it in a non-complement form. This is very important concept that you have to remember in a mean term, right? So when you have a 0, you represent in complement form. When you have a 1, we represent in a non-complement form. Similarly, in a max term here, when you have a 0, we represent in a just a non-complement form. When you have a 1 1 here, we represent in a complement, and it should be in terms of sum. This will be in terms of a product, right? I hope you are understanding. So here you can see that there is a 0 0 mean term. 0 means what? It should represent in a complement form, that is y and z 0 0, and it should be in a product form, right? So how to remember whether 0 in a mean terms and max term, whether it is 0 or 1 as a complement? Just think this way. Generally in a binary, we have a two numbers 0 and 1. So the minimum number is 0. That is a mean term. Mean term means minimum number 0. Whenever you have a 0, then you should write a complement of it. If it is not 0, non-complement. Max number, maximum number 0 and 1, among them which is a maximum value 1. So 1, whenever you have a 1 here in max term, you write it in a complement form. Here you see here, here you have a 1, that's why I written a z bar here, complement. Others are non-complement form. So it is exactly inverse of mean term, but the representation are different. We write in terms of product, and here we write it in terms of max. That is sum form, right? So similarly here, if you see, this is a table example. They may give this type of table. They may tell you to represent in a mean term and max term, right? So there are canonical form and a standard form. So I'll tell you what is a canonical form and a standard form. So in this, if you see here, if you consider one here, right? So 1 1 which are there. So if you see there, this is 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. It is of the decimal form 0 1 2 3 4. So here if you consider this one, so one for canonical sum of product. Sum of product is this. This is a mean term. We can see m1, m2, m4, m6. We represent in a small letter, right? And usually the mean terms will be are in terms of product. You can see just now we have seen m1 is represented in terms of product, m2 is represented in terms of product, right? And it is of the form sum of product. So how we remember this sum of product here is, first here you can see there is a sum of what? These product values. That's what the sum of product. Here product of sum means it is a product of what? These sum values. That is the meaning of sum of product and product of sum, right? So by seeing this expression, you'll understand whether it's a sum of product or product of sum. Even this one, even here also. So at the center, you can see that there is a black dot that indicates that it is a product. Product of what? These sum variables. That's why we call it as product of sum, right? And here, how they have written this one here is, in this case, you see here, they are written for m1. This is 0, m0, m1, m2, m3, like this. M1 is nothing but a bar, b bar, c, right? So this is a mean term. Mean term means minimum number is 0. 0 for 0, we should write it as a complement, right? For here in this case, you have a 0 0, that is complement you have to write in mean terms when you have a 0, a bar p bar, that is here you have a 1, that is c is written. Next, if you go for here, you have a 0 0 0 0 in mean term, it is nothing but a complement form, a bar c bar, right? A bar c bar, 1 you have b, right? So similarly here you have a 1 0 0, that is b bar c bar, a is written as because it is 1 here. Like this you should represent the truth table in terms of a expression. So other than these m1 m2 m4 m6, whatever you are getting, m0 m3 m5 m7, so these are called as a max terms, right? So first you can write it as a mean terms, then once you write mean terms, then you can write it as max term. Max term here is this one, considering a 0. So whichever the one output which are there here, f1 equal to 1, then those are considered as a mean terms here, right? So 0 we considered as a max term, right? And here it is written in terms of plus. Here you see 0 0 0 max term. Whenever you get a 1, then you should write a complement form, but here you have all zeros, so we should write it as non-complement form, and it should be in terms of sum form, right? And this is how we write the uh, mean, that is mean term and max term expression when they give a truth table, right? And this is a notation. So in a whenever they give a problem, they give in terms of this one, summation small m. If you come to know these two terms, then it is understood that this expression is a mean term expression, right? So that is what sum of product, right? Then this can be written as m1, m2, m4 and m6. So these values should be written this way, right? So pi capital M, this indicates that this is a max term expression, and we are going to write it as m naught capital M. Here we write it as small m. That is the difference between mean terms and max term. Totally three differences are there. One is capital M, small m, and these two, right? The symbol summation is there, here you have pi symbol, right? And mean terms we usually represent in terms of product, right? So we represent in terms of sum here, right? So this is what the, and canonical form, conversion between canonical form, right? So this is the one term which they are given, they are telling us to find the mean terms of it. So if you want to write this expression into this type, so first you should convert this into binary form, right? So mean term minimum 0, right? So this is a bar. When we are going to write, whenever you have a 0 here, right? 0 0, then 1. C is, it's a c just, right? So we write it as 1 here, right? So b bar, when we write a bar here, when in mean term, when you have a 0, so 0 0 1, right? Like that. So we write similar to that, a bar b c. So this is how we can write it, and we can whatever the expression they have given, that should be written in terms of a numbers, right? So here if you see a b c bar, so when we write a b, that is without a bar, when you have a 1 value in terms of mean, and c bar we write when you have a 0 there, right? So 1 1 0, that is 2 to the power 2, then 2 to the power 1, totally it is 6, right? So the complement of this becomes a max term, and we write max term by this way, right? So here it is, if 1 is there in max term, we write it as complement, 0 is there means we write it as non-complement form, right? So this v is called as a standard form, right? So as I said, there are two forms, one is a standard form and the canonical form. So this is a standard form. Why we call this as a standard form? If you see this whole expression, it is consisting of three variable a b c. Here we have a three variable, here a is missing, here b is missing. So if that is a case, then we call this as a standard form, right? So even this also, in this case, a b c are the variables, a plus b plus c, three variables are there. Here a is missing, b is missing. If the terms are missing, then we call it as a just standard form, standard POS form or standard SOP form, right? So in this case, if you see these two expression, this one as well as this one, we call it as a canonical form expression. Why? Because here in this expression, if you see ABC is there, ABC is there, either it may be a complement or non-complement form, that doesn't matter. You should have all the terms, right? So here also you can see a plus b, a plus b, a plus, all the terms are there, either it may be a complement or non-complement. So ABC is there here, so all the terms which are there here consisting of ABC, then this type of form we call it as a canonical form, right? So if the terms are missing, then this we call it as a standard form, right? So there are examples, conversion of standard form to canonical form, right? So we need to convert this into a canonical form, right? So such type of problems are there. You can see, so this is a standard form, right? So we convert, this expression is nothing but a sum of product. You can see sum is there, product is there, right? So sum of product should be converted to canonical form. We call this as a standard form because B is missing, A is missing, right? And we are going to convert this standard form into the canonical form. This is a canonical form wherein which all the terms are consisting of A, B, C parameters, right? And to convert this, we use certain formulas: A plus A bar, B plus B bar. B plus B bar is nothing but what? 1. A plus A bar is nothing but 1. If I write, it is like 1 into BC bar. 1 is I represent by A plus A bar. You may ask the question, sir, why you write A plus A bar only? Why not B plus B bar? Why not C plus C bar? Already BC is there. We want to convert this into canonical form. If you want to convert that into canonical form, you should check which is a missing term. A is missing term. So that missing term formula you have to write A plus A bar equal to 1. In terms of POS, product of sum, we write A into A bar, right? So this is how multiplying this, and if you are having the same terms, then we write it as common. For example, if you see this one, A, B, C bar is there, A, B, C bar is there, both are same. It is like A plus A is equal to A. So we write one common term, A plus, it is of the form A plus A is nothing but A. That is what it is written. Other two are written. So this is how we convert a standard form into a canonical form, right? So this is the conversion. Similarly here also you can write A into A bar. Here we write A plus A bar. It depends upon the which variable is missing. If it is C is missing, then we write C into C bar. If it is A is missing, A into A bar, right? So again, if there are duplicate terms or same terms, we remove and we write only one common term, right? K-map very important. There are different way of representing K-map. This is a graphical representation K-map, and these K-map are used to simplify the Boolean expression, right? There are 2 variable, 3 variable, 4 variable, and 5 variable K-map, right? So this is the 2 variable K-map, wherein which you can see there are 2 ways of representing. So please go through this. It's very important. You can use either this or this. Output will get same thing, right? So student will get confusion. Some students, what they do here is they use this one, right? So some student they use this one. So try to follow one method, right? You can use this one. Standard form is what? This one. So 0, 1, you have x1 and x2. X1 and x2 are the input variables. X is a row. This will indicates row. This is a column, right? So these we call it as cell. So we write 2 variable K-map as 0, 1, 2, 3. So if you are using the second variable here and first variable here, then we represent it by 0, 1, 2, 3. Column wise we are going to read. So it all depends upon this, right? So if you write the first variable here and second variable here, you can write this in terms of row wise 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So if you change this position, right, x2 and x1, then you should write 0, 1, 2, 3, means you should read by column. Here you should read by row. So this is M0, this is M1, M2, M3. So this is the name of the cell here, and this is a number assigned to cell, right? So this is a two variable K-map. And grouping, if you want to group a two variable K-map, how you are going to give group? Here if you see, if you are having a 0 1, then this type of grouping is not possible, it is wrong. So usually we group with 1 1. So grouping, there are multiple ways of grouping. You can group a single one, so in this case it is not possible, right? So this type of grouping is wrong. So you can group single if there is no any possibility of grouping with other one. So here in this case, you can see you can group with two ones, you can group with four ones, you can group with eight ones, you can group with one, like that, right? So there is no six or there is no three, right? So here this is again diagonal grouping is not correct. This is wrong method. You should use only this way, either in terms of a row grouping or in terms of a column grouping. So these are the methods of grouping here, right? And whenever you are grouping, you should not leave any one, right? So it's not like you have grouped this one and this there is no possibility. It's not like that. You should group all the numbers which are there, right? So chances are that there may be overlapping. Here you can see that one is overlapped with this group as well as this group. So this is possible in a K-map here, right? And here you can see this is a grouping. And while writing the expression, so here how to write the expression for this? So first you should check any common terms. Here you have grouped this one, right? So check any common term is there. So both the numbers are not common. Here you have a 0, here you have 1, right? So here you have a 0. If you don't have a common term, we take this one and we write it as x2 bar. So in this is we are representing in terms of mean term. Mean term, whenever you have a 0 means we represent it by complement, right? So x2 bar. And here if you see here in this grouping, just check which are the common terms that are there here. There is no common term. 0 and 1 are separate, right? So in that case, we take this one, that is x1 bar. So the output of this two variable K-map is x1 bar plus x2 bar, right? So similarly, this is the three variable, and whenever you are using a three variable, you have 8 cells because we have 0 to 7 combinations, and this is represented by this 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0, right? So 0 1. So this is the representation of a three variable K-map. This position is nothing but 0 0 0. This position is nothing but 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1, like that, right? So this is how we write the four variable K-map. So 0 0 0 1 1 1. So these are the notations how we represent for the four variable, right? So this can also be written as 0 0 a bar b bar a bar b a b a b bar. With respect to mean terms in mean terms 0 is nothing but complement form, right? So that's why we consider as a bar b bar. Here if you see 0 0 0 0 is there. If you want to represent in terms of means term, then 0 0 we can write it as a bar b bar. Here c bar d bar, right? So the multiplication of this is a bar b bar c bar d bar, right? So if you consider here, then here you have a b bar and c d. So a b bar c d. It's a product of these two is written here. That's it, right? So when we write complement, when you have a 0 here, right? So if there is a 0, then we'll write a complement because it is expressed in terms of mean term. Similarly, problems are there. You can go through this. Here we have grouped. There is a grouping here. There is a one grouping. There is a one grouping of two, and expression here you see I write here how to write the expression is very important. So here if you see this, you have a 0 0, here you have a 1 1. Among this, which is a common term, b is having a 0 here, again b is having a 0, right? So that is one thing, right? Then here we have a cd. So b should be considered but we are representing it in terms of complement form, right? So b bar means this is a mean term, summation means mean term, and cd also you have to consider, right? So it's not like you should only consider these two, even you should consider this also, right? So cd we write it as c bar d bar because it's 0 0 0 0 in mean terms, it is a complement form, right? So we write like this. Understood? So similarly here, so one is common here, that is b. B is written, then here 0 1, that is C bar D, right? So here it is D and AB, right? So 1 1 is nothing but AB. You can't remove common here because you should read it in row wise. Whenever you are checking this way, two numbers are there. The same thing here is D. D variable is having the same value 1 1 common term, that D should be written here, right? So here 1 1 is there, AB that should be written, right? So you should check common term which you are having. So in these two cases, if you see the term, last two term D which is there, it is common, right? So that is written D bar. So like this you can group of four, you can, so adjacent you can group it, right? So like this adjacent you can group it. Here you see corner edges also you can group it, right? So this is how we can group the four variable. Similarly here you can see there is no any possibility of grouping of 4 or 8 or 2. Under such condition you have to group by single, right? So here you can group this way, 4 grouping is possible, 8 is possible, adjacent 8 is possible. So this is how you can group it. And whenever you are grouping, be careful, and while writing the expression also, here if you see, you should, whenever you want to write expression, you check the common term, right? So by row as well as column. Here in column wise, if you see here, this is one group, you have to check all these four because it is grouped with 8, right? So in this term it is no, you don't get any common here. First 0 is there, 0 common is there, next again it is changing, right? So 1 0 1 1 0, so it's, there is no any common term, it's keep on changing, right? But here if you see 0 1 is there, 1 1, the last term which is there, it is common, that belongs to B, right? So that is written B. So as this is a mean term, we write it as B. In max term we would have written it as B bar, right? So similar to that we write here. So there is no any common term here. 1 1 which is there, it belongs to D. D is nothing but here we write it as this, right? So this grouping is right, and even 4 grouping is there. Here you should not group with a zeros. Grouping should be always done with 1 or X. X is nothing but a don't care term that we'll see, right? So grouping should be done with only 1. So 3 grouping is not possible, as I said. So only 1 grouping is possible, 2 grouping is possible, 4 and 8, right? So 3 is not there, 6 is not there, 5 is not there, right? So similarly here, there is a chance of overlapping. You can overlap the grouping, but you can't do this. And always you can, even this is a, the grouping is correct, but the, you can't do like this, right? So always whenever you should, whenever you are grouping, you should check the you should have a maximum number of grouping, right? So your grouping should be a maximum, right? So you can make a pair of grouping, right? But if you make here, you'll get a higher expression, right? So you should always group with a larger grouping. If it is possible, you can group it in a larger way. If it is not possible, you can group by this way, right? So here in this case, if you see, it is not possible of grouping a higher grouping, right? So that's why we consider here. It is possible of grouping 4 ones. In this case, you should not group a 2 grouping, right? So that is wrong here. You should try to group with a higher number of ones, right? So similarly here, the mapping, this is how we do mapping. So this is nothing but it is a 0 0 position, this is a 0 0 1 position. The expression which they are given, we convert it into binary, then this binary is represented this way, right? And then we simplify the expression, right? So this is how we can do it for the simplification. When the expression is given, we convert it into binary and we place it in a schema. Can see here. So Here it's a 4 grouping is possible, we have grouped it, right? So no need to group in terms of 2 grouping, right? So if you make a 2 grouping, you'll get multiple terms. The K-map intention is to reduce the expression. If you are having a maximum grouping, then you'll get only one term, right? So you can see here, if you are grouped into 4 ones, we have got one term. Here you see you have got two terms, right? So if you group this into two pairs, then you'll get two terms. That is wrong. K-map is used to reduce the expression, right? So here we are just using a NOT gate, right? So if you have a two pair, we are going to use a two AND gates you have to use, right? So that it will increase the number of gates if you want to represent in terms of logical circuit, right? So that should be taken care. Again, grouping, you can see here, pair grouping. You can't leave like this one, you can combine with the other. Overlapping is possible. See, the output of this one is AC bar. You can see A, this is C bar. So this is how you can group it, and this is how we represent. Don't care grouping is possible whenever this one is there. X is nothing but a don't care. Either you have, it can be a 0 or 1, right? So whenever you want to group this one, you can use this don't care, right? So if there is no any possibility, for example, if you are having a 1 here, you can group this one. No need to group with a don't care. If there is no possibility of grouping 1, you can use this don't care and you can group it, right? So common term is AC bar, that is A bar is there, and here is C bar. That is how you can write it, right? So similarly, this truth table should be written in terms 0 1 2 3. First you should convert this column into 0 1 2 3 form, and this is nothing but 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 sorry 8 9 10 11 12 13. Like this you have to group it. How you have to group it, and this is a table, and this table you can see first what they have done here is they have checked which are the ones, and those ones numbers which are there, that is written here. 3 5 7 are the one which belongs to one output, right? So this is they are representing in terms of a K map, and this is the output of this K map, and this is converted into expression. So this type of problems are asked in exam most of the time. So the table is there with the 4 input variable. 4 variable means 4 variable K map. Check which are the ones that are there here, and those decimal numbers are written here. And whenever you have these decimal numbers here, this K map is represented like 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. So wherever these numbers come, you write 1 there, right, and group them, right? And final expression should be written in terms of this logical circuit. This is a logical circuit, or we also call it as a combinational circuit, right? So like this, you have a half adder we have seen. So half adder, sum and carry table is there, sum is there. So sum column which is there and carry column, that is represented in a K map, right? So here you have a 1. 1 is nothing but here it belongs to A and it belongs to B, AB, right? So A bar B, A bar, that is A plus B bar. Like this you should write it, and the final expression which you are getting, carry is nothing but AB. AB is nothing but AND gate. AND gate will give you AB, and this is A B bar plus A bar B bar, that is nothing but XOR. XOR is represented by that symbol, and this is a symbolic representation. This will give you the output of a half adder, right? So similarly, you have a full adder, sum and carry, that is represented in terms of a K-map. This is the expression of that, and this expression is written in terms of a logical circuit, right? So like this we represent the half adder, full adder, multiplexer, demultiplexer, AND gate, sorry, adder, in terms of a expression, right? So you have a table, truth table, and we convert it into a K map. If you are using a three variable K map is used. If you are using a four variable K map is used. Here you see we have a four variables here, A B C D, four variable K map is there. Here we have two variables, two variable K-map is used here. Right, so two variable K-map. It depends upon the input, how many inputs are there. Based on that, we are going to use the comparator. Again, comparator, we have here binary code and BCD code. Like that, even comparator is also a combinational circuit. For us also, we have a truth table, and you can convert it. Here you can see that this is a binary code and this is a BCD code, right? So binary code 0 to 15 it is written, and here you have from this is of 5 bits and this is of 4 bit, right? So both are same, but the representation is different. This is 0 to 15 represented using 4 bit, 0 to 15 represented in terms of 5 bits. That's it, right? And each column which is there, b4, b3, b2, b1, b0, that is represented here in terms of a k-map, right? So here you should write 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then check which is having a 1 value, 1, 1, 1, and that respective decimal number you should have a 1 here, and map it and write the common term. Here you see common term is a here, right? So this 1 which is there, it belongs to a. So in mean term, yeah, if you are having a 1 means it is a non-complement form. That's why we write a. So here you see 1, 1, it is belongs to b, right? So 1, 1, b. Then here row wise also you should check, as well as column wise. Here it belongs to D. So that is 0, it is common, D bar B. Like this you should write it, and once you write for all these columns expression, then using those expression you should write a logical circuit. So this circuit we call it as a comparator, or sorry, a BCD logical circuit.